So, unfortunately, recently there's been over the past few years, I think there have been three cases where there was gun violence by a high school student, and the parents were indicted for manslaughter, found guilty, and they're going to be put in jail. And when I heard the first case, I found myself rejoicing, like finally. Um, I think I think intuitively I've always felt that parents are responsible for their kids' behavior to a much larger degree than most people think. I think gun violence is, the more I think about it, I don't think it's a good example. It's just it's just such an extreme case, and it's so politicized in the US. And so the ethical ramification, the ethical exploration of it I think is being a little impeded by all the politics and the drama of such a violent incident. But I do think about this a lot. I walk around, I see, fat kids all the time. And you see these cute fat kid videos on Instagram all the time. And it doesn't make me laugh, it makes me angry. Every time I see that, I get angry. I get so fucking pissed off. And I always ask my wife, I'm walking down the street, and I see a fat kid. I turn to my wife and I go, "Is that child abuse?" And she starts rolling her eyes because I say it all the time. And it's my way of trying to, get rid of some of the anger that I feel about it. Invariably, the fat kids have fat parents. And so the parents are eating like shit, not exercising. So the kids are just following their example. Is that child abuse? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's child. It's definitely not good. And the parents are definitely guilty of something. But are they guilty of something legal, right? And this is why I'm thinking about this stuff. What about the case of a parent spoiling their daughter? Daughter grows up, messed up, irresponsible, alcoholic, cheats on her husband. They have three kids, and later on the daughter is like 50, and she has a fling, ruins the marriage, leaves the house, just makes a mess. Most importantly, the three kids that they have are just fucked up by everything that's happened. They hate the mom, all this stuff. Okay. In that case, is the parent responsible? And I think most people will say no, because fuck, she's 50. What the hell? Okay, but in Korea, and I'm sure in a lot of other places too, but like in the States, you're 18, you leave the house and you're on your own, right? That's not what happens in Korea. And it's also, I think, happening a lot everywhere else, including the US. But the kids graduate from college, they can't get a job, and they go back and live with their parents, right? Okay, so what if the daughter was living with the mom all the way up until she was 40? Financially dependent on the mom, and what about that case? Is the parent liable for the mess that the daughter creates? My reasoning is that, I think there's some liability there, and my reasoning is that if one of my daughters came to me and they were like, "I can't get a job, so I'm going to live at home," I would be like, "Well, then you're going to live in like the tiniest home in the city until you find a job." I'm not going to support their laziness or irresponsibility. I'm not going to do that. And if they're an alcoholic, I would do whatever I could to like get them out of it, you know. But if they're 40 and they're behaving like that, I would kick them out of the house for sure. It's their life, like. But instead of kicking them out of the house, if you let them live in the house, aren't you enabling their bad behavior? So I don't know. There's a lot of. I have my opinions, but I do want to test them. I have hypotheses, and I want to test them. But I'm having a really hard time finding easy articles that I could just read and just be like, oh, here's the answer. It's going to take a lot more work than I thought. And I'm not sure if I want to do all this work, but it is a very intriguing question and something that continues to bother me. So I might have to go down that rabbit hole. If I find some good, I'm trying to look for like philosophers, like current contemporary philosophers who are doing, like, their field is ethics and doing something related to this, right? Trying to find that. If I do, I'll do a video of me like reading through and commenting on that.